All right, so number 4, what is this thing? Okay, it's a rectangular prism. Okay, and what we're doing here is shading in, I said just shading in one of the bases. So like this right here is one of the bases. If you shaded in this one, that would have been good also. Okay, number 5, what is this thing? Triangular prism. So here's one of the bases, and here's one of the other ones. Okay, number 6, this is a rectangular prism. Here's one of the bases, here's the other base. Okay, number 7, rectangular prism. Here's one of the bases, here's the other base. Number 8, this is a triangular prism. Here's a base, here's the other base. Number 9, this is a triangular prism. Here's one of the bases, here's the other one. Number 10 is a triangular prism. Here's one of the bases, here's the other. Number 11, what's this? Okay, this is a pentagonal prism. Okay, here's one of the bases, the other bases, that other pentagon. And then number 12, this is a hexagonal prism. Here's one of the bases, and the other hexagon's the other hexagon. Well, the other base is the other hexagon. Okay, so today what we're doing, so on the front there, all right, so I'm just going to rewrite these formulas again real quick. For a prism, lateral is pH, total is pH plus 2b. For a cylinder, lateral is 2 pi RH. For the total, it's 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. Okay. So in this first one, capital P stands for perimeter of the base. So I'm looking for the perimeter of this base right here. 2, 7, 2, and 7. So it's a rectangle. I'm going to add all 4 sides, 2 plus 7 plus 2 plus 7. What does that give you? Gives you 18. Okay, capital B, what does it stand for? Area of the base. So I'm looking for the area of this rectangle. That's the base. So how do we find every rectangle? Yeah, just length times width. So in this case, just 7 times 2, which is 14. What's the height on this? Yeah, this time it is 1. Okay, so for lateral surface area of a prism, this formula right here, just P times H. So 18 times 1, what's that going to be? 18 square centimeters. And then for total, we're using this formula. So 18 times 1 plus 2 times 14. What does that give you? 46. Now this one, what is the radius of the cylinder? 6. The height? 8. So for the lateral surface area, I'm using this formula right here. So 2 pi RH. 2 times 5 times 6 times 8. Just typing that in your calculator. What does that give you? 301.59 square meters. And for the total surface area, we're using this formula. 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. Okay, 527.79. All right, on this one, perimeter of the base. So on this one, I need to find the perimeter of this base, which is the same thing as this down here. I could look at either one of them. But how long are the three sides of that triangle? 6, 8, and 10. So for the perimeter, I'm just going to add those up. 6 plus 8 plus 10. Which is what? 24. Okay, B is area of the base, so I'm looking for the area of this triangle. So if you notice this right angle right here, that's what I need. So that's going to be my base and height of the triangle, 6 and 8. So I'm going to go 6 times 8 divided by 2, which is what? It's 24. And then what's the height? It's 5. That's how far it is between the bases. So 5 is that. All right, so for lateral, it's just P times H. So it's 24 times 5, which is what? 120. And total surface area is P times H plus 2 times B. What does that give you? (168 square centimeters). Okay, on this last one, what shape, what's the 3D figure here? What is this? Good. This is a pentagonal prism. So the pentagon is the base. Pentagons are the bases. So when I'm looking for P, the perimeter of the base, I'm looking for the perimeter of this pentagon. And we're assuming this is a regular pentagon. All the sides are the same length. So I'm just going to add up 9 5 times. So I'm just doing 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, which is what? It's 45. Okay, how do we find the area of this pentagon? Okay, good. It's the apothem times the perimeter divided by 2. So it's going to be 7.79 times 45 divided by 2. I'm doing the apothem times the perimeter divided by 2. The apothem is 7.79. The perimeter is 45. We already found that for right here. So the apothem, 7.79 times the perimeter, 45 divided by 2. What does that give you? Yeah, we're around to 28. then what's the height of this prism? 10, because remember the height is the distance between the bases. 10 is how far it is between those two pentagons. So for lateral surface area, and again, what I'm doing is I'm just going up here to this formula up here. For the lateral surface area, I'm going up here for a prism, it's just P times H. So the P is 45, the H is 10, so I'm going to do 45 times 10. Which is 450 square yards. And for the total, it's P times H plus 2 times B, which B in this case is 175.28. And what does that give you? Is we are going to be pretty much doing the same stuff we did yesterday. Just practicing with this some more. All right, so we did this yesterday. How do we find total surface area of a prism? What was the formula? There you go, P times H plus 2 times B. And what's lateral of a prism? P times H. Okay, now we talked about this yesterday. What's the difference between total surface area and lateral surface area? Total surface area is the area of... Okay, yeah, of everything. It includes everything for the shape. And so how is the lateral surface area different than that? Good. It's everything without the bases. So the lateral surface area will be less than the total. Obviously, the total has everything, the lateral is everything, but not with the bases included. All right, so what does the capital P stand for in those formulas? Okay, perimeter, but we got to be more specific than that. Perimeter of the base. Perimeter of the base. Perimeter of the base. So on this one, you'd be looking for the perimeter of this hexagon because that's a hexagonal prism. On this one, you'd be looking for the perimeter of that hexagon because that's a hexagonal prism. On this one, you'd be looking for the perimeter of this triangle because that's a triangular prism. And on this one, you'd be looking for the perimeter of that triangle because that's a triangular prism with a triangle base. Okay, what does the capital B stand for? Good, it stands for area of the base. So on this one, you'd be looking for the area of that hexagon. On this one, you'd be looking for the area of that hexagon. On this one, you'd be looking for the area of that triangle. On this one, you'd be looking for the area of this triangle. Okay, what did the H stand for? Good, it's the height, but more specifically, good, it's the distance between the bases. So the height is how far it is between the bases. And the reason that's important to know is sometimes these shapes are laying on their side. And so sometimes the height is not going up and down like what you would think. Sometimes it's going side to side. Like on this one right here. This right here is actually the height. Even though that's not going up and down, it's going side to side, that's still the height. That's how far it is between the bases. Okay, on this one's the height. Okay, on this one right here is the height, which I'm not saying it, but this right here would be the height also because that'd be the exact same thing. This right here would be the height. All three of those are the same length. Those all would be the height. Okay, and then on this one from here to here is the height. Distance between the two triangular bases. All right, for a cylinder, what's the total surface area? Yep. And then lateral?